Hello, everybody. Thank you for those that made it over for the news. Not a huge amount have figured out we're here yet, but more and more each time. So we'll keep hitting it. Oh, wait a minute, guys.
Thank you for those that made it over for the.
Yeah, I'm still learning the system with the multiple screens. All right, guys, let's get to this one. Hello, Larry. Hello, Kukla, Star Watcher. I'm glad you joined us. Hello, Mother Nature. Ooh, homemade soup. You made extra, I hope. Hello, right side. I'm glad you made it. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's most of us. Let's dive into the news. It's going to be a busy day to be me, and then right back over for those that want to join for Scent Nutrition. Lance and those guys, they were very educational. Hopefully, they will give us some clues on how to protect ourselves with all the craziness going on. Hello, Dr. Connie. Hello, Mary, Expliadocious. Hello, Christine, and everybody else. All right, lots happening news. One thing really fun, we're going to touch on this one. I shared this earlier today. Great video, right? So this lady really rips a new one to the school board there and to the administrators, points out just how much money they're getting after diving into their budgets, their numbers, show that they are getting paid by the federal government to issue the mandates and to put them in place. Even better, guys, her name is Carol. She's a Zim holder, believes in Jacera. Reached out to me today. Looking forward to having her on. And joining for a podcast. If you've not watched this one yet, fantastic. I'll get her to give you the details, the skinny of the whole thing in her own words. To me, that's going to be very motivational to have her in person on the podcast. She shows, and I think the number was 3,943 or 3,963, something like that per students, what they are getting paid to put all these mandates on your children. And she did the math and figured it out. She was absolutely awesome. Kukla watch. Anybody else? Have you watched her yet? If you haven't, you need to watch her. This is like homework. I'm going to drop the link right over here for you guys if you'd like to see her. And I'm going to keep ripping because it is going to be it's going to be a busy one for me today. So I'm going to keep rolling. All right. Florida just had the summit talks yesterday in Ocala, Florida. You guys get the feeling that Ocala, Florida is becoming a hot spot for this movement to fight back, both in politics, mandates, and you name it, more and more people. Ocala is not that big, but it has become an epicenter. It's neat to watch. That's in links, guys. And before I can possibly forget, I'm going to get links up and get them sent over right now before I can distract myself and forget, so you guys can do your due diligence and find all of these. They should be up within minutes, guys. I just sent them over, and appreciate that. All right, so they should be in there. That is a overview. You can watch the video on the summit. Top physicians gathered to discuss their updated physicians declaration, guys. It was a good one. It's definitely worth watching. All right. Was the Ashley Biden diary bait to kill Project Veritas? It was definitely an attempt, I believe. I don't think it was bait for that. New York Times has now come out and said the diary is indeed true, guys. This is a very liberal rag. They have done their due diligence. They believe it is the real deal. It proposes a lot of very questionable things. So it should be very interesting to see how this one moves forward. All right. Will the Biden-Harris team even survive to 2024? After the diary leak, the approval ratings, I would not be surprised to see them making a serious effort to remove them from office before we get into the 2022 and 2024 election cycle. All right. What else we're looking for in the economic side of this? Creditor prepares bankruptcy proceedings with Evergrande, guys. This one is an exceptionally good one for a few reasons. One, DMSA, they have gone further than this. They released a public statement today, guys, and I am going to pull that statement up so that you guys can see it with your own eyes. I'm going to pull it right over here. bounce back to here, right here, in their own words from DMSA. Bankruptcy of Evergrande, the world's most indebted corporation, could ultimately lead to a great reset, i.e., the final meltdown of the global financial system. They're not hiding this one, guys. They're putting it right out there for everybody to see. Also, remember, Dr. Marco Metzler called this yesterday, that they would not be able to meet their bond payments. They did indeed not meet their bond payments, and we are watching that cascade of effects. The markets throughout this week should be very interesting. There we go. I've surpassed my freebies from the New York Times. New York Times also did a piece on it as the Chinese property crisis spreads. Beijing says there's nothing to see. They're trying to cover this one up. They even did something as far as CNN posting this story. Let me move it over here so you guys can see it. Evergrande's billionaire founder has been bailing out the business. The CCP leaned on him to put in the dollars to make certain that it was covered. Pushing hard to bankrupt the billionaires so that it doesn't fall on their face. Meanwhile, we had another article out yesterday out of China, as many of the CCP officials and business leaders are making plans to evacuate the country, trying to buy houses in other areas. Guys, we are watching the implosion, the first domino to fall, as we look for monetary reform around the world. All right. Mercola, love it. You got 34 hours left to read this one. I'm not going to touch on it very hard because we are only on YouTube today, guys. They will certainly take us down if we discuss it much. And more in that venue. It basically shows where they manipulated two studies to show what they wanted, that perhaps one of their answers, meaning one of these lollipops, is better than the natural immunity, even though all the science to date shows otherwise. So they manipulated it. They put it out. They try to claim it's science because they need customers. Thought that one was interesting. All right. This one on another Newsmax reporter permanently suspended from Twitter for spreading what they consider misinformation. This in particular was over the luciferase or luciferin, which is one of the products inside of the shots, is asking for independent analysis to show what is going on. So that is some kind of interesting. This one, guys, Digital Warriors. I put it in links. It should already be up. I'll let you make your own decision on this one. Was this simply misspeaking? Had too many public engagements? Was she telling you the truth? What is it? I'll play it again for you guys.
Virtually every person who is in the hospital right now, sick with COVID-19, is vaccinated. And even more, regrettably, virtually every person who has recently died from COVID-19 was vaccinated.
This is a very recent one. This is their words, not my words, guys. What do you take of it? Was this a slip? Was this a mess up? She did it a number of times through it and made it a point to emphasize it. Is this the disclosure we're looking for? And just everybody's asleep and they're going to ignore it? Great question as far as I'm concerned. The Natural Immune Federal Workers Lodge, or folks that have already had it and recovered, have lodged a class action suit against Fauci, Walensky over at the CDC, and over the mandate. Watch this one play out, guys. This was only filed yesterday. I will keep you up to date as this thing moves forward. Perfect storm of mandates, worker shortage poised to derail all holiday travel, according to many Republican leaders. Oh boy, I didn't even notice Scuffle in the house. The mods are so good. Scuffle, we did start the process of having you prosecuted for cyber harassment. Just keep that in mind as you continue to add more to it. All right, YouTube will hide dislike counts for all videos, meaning if you hit the thumbs down, it's still going to count as what's the word I'm looking for here? As an interaction, so you still get monetized for it. Keep in mind, guys, every time you hit a thumbs down, you're actually giving me a tip. Every time you view, every chat is kind of like you giving a tip. So when Scuffle is spamming, he's paying me to be here. You got to appreciate that, right, guys? So they're going to start hiding the dislikes. This started for the White House webpage, guys. This started for the White House webpage. when they were getting inundated with tens and tens and hundreds of thousands of dislikes and only 2,000 or 3,000 likes. So they started this process. YouTube is going to spread that because now it looks like they're showing favoritism. So they're going to show likes but not dislikes. Now the content creator will be able to see them in the background, and they will still count as an interaction on your monetization. So every time they hit it, there you go. But it is interesting. All of YouTube is changing because of Joe's popularity on YouTube. So for everybody on YouTube, you are seeing this happen, guys. So it's going to be very interesting to watch this thing play out, guys. That is most of the news for the day so far. Any other world news, I'll share at 7 if we get anything in between. Yes, and Skeffel, I did point out, man, I've shared a lot of links, including a Reuters article about the changing value of the dinar. You just have to go through and look. Stop with the hate. Figure it out. Dive in. Also, keep in mind that Warren Buffett recently purchased as well because he believes in the future value of it. But you're smarter than him. You're smarter than Reuters. Must be tough being that bright. All right, guys. I appreciate it. Kay, thank you, guys. Thank you all for joining here. The goal with Trolling News, of course, is to spin the news off of the regular one for those that don't want the news. They just want to ask questions. All right, guys. I appreciate you greatly. I know it's a short one, but I got to be back at 2. See you guys soon. And mods, thank you very much.